Hi everybody, my name is Patricia, first generation Beatles fan. This channel is called Little Beatles Corner. Today I am going to show you all the Beatles and Beatles related purchases that I made last month, which was July 2025. So I have a little assortment of things I hope you'll find interesting in a way. So little rabbit holes I'm going down, which I shouldn't be going down. So anyway, I hope you stick around, and I hope you comment and let me know what you think about whatever I'm doing. Of course, I have to thank everybody on the channel for being so nice and just being such good friends and Beatle friends, and I can't thank you enough. You just do so much for me in terms of enjoying doing these videos. So thank you for your friendship and your contributions and everything else. So, all right, so I'm going to get started. First, I'm going to show you, though, a present that I got from my friend on the channel. His name is Ralph, and he's from Florida. And he got me a 3 CD set of the McCartney London '02 last night, December 19th, 2024. Now, I went to the show the day before, which was the 18th. So this is a really nice memory of the show that I went to. So I really do thank him for his kindness for sending me this. Now, it's got the sound check in it too, which is kind of nice. And as I say, it's got 3 CDs. I want to show you one. It's called Piccadilly Rock Circus. Where they come up with these names, I don't know. And there's just a little cardboard kind of thing here that shows his photo from the Got Back tour and the track listing. Then there's a little card in here that's got Back, different, I don't know, maybe it's different CDs you can get. I didn't really look into it. Some Japanese writing on here. It's got pretty good audio. I do have to say, though, I was really struck by his voice in this. Now, whoever recorded it did a great job capturing his voice. But you can see throughout these CDs of his struggle with his voice during these shows, which is kind of weird because when I went to the show the day before, I didn't notice anything like this. So anyway, that's just for what that's worth. I just wanted to say that. So I do thank Ralph for my CD. I really do appreciate it, and I do treasure it. Now I got a couple other CDs this month, or past month I should say. So I got the last bunch of the SHM Japanese CDs. So this one is Paul is Live. Flaming Pie, which is a great album. Amoeba Gig. And there's the Chaos album. And then there's New. Now, I did not buy New with this set that just came out. I actually bought New when New came out originally. I found a Japanese copy at a good price back then. So you can see the sticker is different than the gold sticker that's on there now. So I've got all the SHM CDs except for the Thrillington one, which I wasn't really interested in. I got those all off of Amazon, and a couple of them are on sale. So if you're interested, you might want to take a look. Now, the last CD I bought in July was a CD called Beatles to Bon and Bach by George Martin. So this has a James Bond suite, which is the James Bond theme, and Live and Let Die's on here, some other George Martin stuff. And then there's a Beatles suite with a bunch of Sgt. Pepper stuff. And there's a some more George Martin stuff, and then at the end there's a Yellow Submarine suite that goes through a lot of stuff from the Yellow Submarine movie. And then the last thing is Prelude for Strings by George Martin. So, and actually this was recorded at Air Studios, and Jeff Emmerich was the engineer, so that's kind of cool. So this is the George Martin Orchestra. You know, getting his CDs is kind of difficult in a way, and getting them at a price you can afford is also difficult in a way. So for this one, it was sealed. I actually paid $20.50, which was a decent price, I thought, and then it was $22.55 by the time, you know, tax was added to that, and then shipping was free off of eBay. So I'm very happy to have the CD, because I'm still working on whatever George Martin put out as far as more Beatle-related stuff is what I'm buying. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is not the box itself, because it's too heavy, but I did buy my mono box from the Beatles store. I was lucky enough the first day when the email came out, you know, I saw the email really early, and I just knew I better get it because it would be sold out if I thought about it too long, so that's what I did. Now, I took off all the baggy things that were on each of the albums because I don't like those sticky baggy things, and I did it my own way. And of course, it's a beautiful box to have, and, you know, a treasured piece, you know, as everybody knows. So I'm really grateful to have it. Now, the next thing I bought, which I've been wanting for quite a while, but these are pretty expensive too, is I bought the Monopoly Yellow Submarine. Now, I got this off of eBay, and usually they go for $100 or so. This was sealed. I did open it, and I've actually played it already. And for Monopoly, I paid $69.97, and then with shipping and all that was almost $77. So it's still a little bit cheaper than what most of them are trying to charge on eBay. So I'm just going to show you the board because it's so pretty. And of course it's all Beatle themed, you know, with Beatle money. There's Beatle money. And all the trinkets that go with it. There's a blue meanie and, you know, Jeremy the Boob and some other stuff on here. So as far as the pieces that you pick to be your playing piece. So that's my Beatles Yellow Submarine game, which I'm really happy to have. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is another rabbit hole I'm starting to go down, which I hope not to go down too far, but I sort of can't help myself. And I think I want to thank, or not thank, my friend Kevin in California for this whole idea. So I got my first Beatles 8-track, Let It Be. Kevin seems to like, you know, the ancillary ways that the music was put out, you know, whether it be cassette or whatnot. So it's got me looking at this kind of stuff more. And now the only thing is on eBay, they usually come like this without the cover. And I want the cover with the CD, so because it protects the tape a little bit more. So it's a little more difficult to get them both together. But anyway, of course it's used, and I paid, let's see, I paid $12.75 for the 8-track and $19.12 to bring it home. So I think I want to thank, or not thank, Kevin in California for me doing that. All right. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is 145 that I bought in July. And that's the Beatles on the orange capital label, Yesterday and Act Naturally. This has never been played. I paid $10 for this at a record show. And actually, if you go on eBay, here's the outer sleeve. If you go on eBay looking for Orange Capital, there seemed to be more money than $10. So I think I got pretty lucky with just picking up this one for $10. Now I bought a couple of, before I do that, I bought one other new thing, and I bought it from the Beatles store. I bought the Beatles Mono, celebrating the Mono box, coffee cup. And there's the back. It says 2025 Apple Core Limited Beatles product. So I don't plan on using it, but I'm going to display it, maybe put some pens in there or something. I thought it was so cute, I just had to have it. Now, I did pay $15 from the Beatles store for this cup, which isn't too bad, you know. But then, you know, by the time you do the shipping and what, it's almost double what the cup costs. So I $15 for the cup, and then by the time I had the whole thing was $27. So that's kind of an expensive, cheap cup to get. But anyway, I had to have it, so. All right, so I did buy a couple of records this past month in July. The first thing I got was, I paid $25 for a copy of Introducing the Beatles. That's the column back, and it's just to ask me why. The sleeve is white, nothing to write home about that. And it's on the brackets label, and the reason I bought it was because it's better than the one I've got. You know, to buy these pristine is really expensive, so I think that's out of my budget at this point in my life. But it's pretty nice, so. If I find a better one along the way, I'll probably get that one and do something about getting rid of this one. So that's the first record I bought. Now the second one I bought is I paid $27 for this. It's Yesterday and Today on the Apple label. This cover's pretty decent. One little rip back here, but other on the bottom. But now it says number 16 there. I'm not sure where that's from then. This is a stereo under the Apple label. I thought I was finished with the Apple label except for Meet the Beatles, which I'm looking for. But no, I'm not finished, so I wound up getting that. It's a nice shape. I would say excellent shape. That's as low as I'm going as far as condition goes for these. And then the last record I got was a Japanese for the Flag Series thing I'm still working on forever, and that's number 8, which is the oldies record. And it's in pristine condition. Little yellowing of the sleeve of the outer cover, but other than that, that's nice. I think I'm a little more than halfway through collecting these. I still got a long way to go, but I'm getting there. So I got this off of eBay, and I didn't note down what I paid for it, so I can't tell you right now. But it's not a whole lot, because otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. You know, if it's like under 50 bucks or so, then I'll get them. So those are the 3 albums that I bought. Now I got one more thing to show you, which is, 2 more things to show you, which are memorabilia. Well, this is Beatles. Well, they're both Beatles related, actually. So I bought a handbill off of eBay, and it actually was pretty cheap. It was $12.99, and then they jacked up the shipping some. So I wound up paying $25, $26 for it. But it was still a pretty good price, I thought, because it's a vintage handbill, which I do collect some of them. And that's Billy J. Kramer headlining with the Dakotas. Now, the reason I bought this is I was going to take this to the fest and have Billy sign it there. And you can see on the bottom, you can cut it out and send in for your ticket back then, which is pretty interesting. But it turns out, you know, I'm going to the fest only one day, Saturday, which is the main day. And now he's not going to be there till sometime on Sunday, and the whole schedule is very loose about when he's going to be around and what he's going to do. So it's like, forget it. So anyway, now I have a handbill that I want signed. I'm not getting signed this year from Billy J, and that's the way it goes, right? So I'll just hold on to it till hopefully next time. Anyway, now the last thing I got is another little grouping of memorabilia, I'll say, and this is George Harrison's mother again. It's another rabbit hole I went down. Now, the reason I bought this was, A, the price was good compared to what her stuff goes for. Her stuff goes for close to about $300, $400, $500 generally, and I got this for $150 plus $15, you know, to ship it and whatnot, so it was $165. So that's why I went ahead and did it. And the second reason I did it was the first piece I bought a couple months ago, which I showed on the channel. It was a typewritten letter that I don't know whether she typed it or not, but her signature was on it. Now, this is actually a handwritten note with her signature on it that she hand wrote. So that's the other reason I got it. So that's my other rabbit hole right now. All right, so in this grouping, first of all, there's this postcard. Now, I had this postcard in the last batch I showed you a couple months ago, but the condition of this one is really a lot better. So she would send these out with her letters or her notes, and she put her signature there. Best wishes, Louise Harrison. So except for some little corner bending, it's really nice. Now, I also got an old photo of her and her husband, Harry. So these are both of George's parents in this little collection. And she actually sent this to a fan, which I will get into in a second when I show you the letter. So that's a nice photo of them. They look pretty happy here. And that might be a good thing to try to put together with the whole, I don't know how to do this now. There's a lot of little stuff to put together to make a piece. Now, this is a typewritten envelope, Liverpool, I think it's December of '65. This is to Teresa in California. So there's two envelopes to Teresa. So I think she wrote maybe back and forth a lot or something. I'm not quite sure what happened here. And then this is the other envelope. And this is dated Liverpool, looks like May of '65. So this is earlier than the other envelope. And this looks like Louise actually hand wrote this envelope. Now inside there's two things inside here. First is her little note. Now it's a little bit faded, but it says, "Dear Teresa, thank you for your letter and thank you for your thoughtfulness and whatever." And then she says she found one of George's school pencils. He always would put two pencils in one case in case one broke. So I think she tried to send him a pencil or part of a pencil, but anyway, I don't have a piece of pencil, so I can't tell you for sure. And then it also says, I only had one large photo of us, so I hope you like it. So that's when she sent Teresa, her and Harry, probably. And then it says, all my best wishes to you and your family, Louise Harrison. And then on the top, there's a little sticker that had her address on there. So there's the sticker. And there's the letter, and Louise is written there on the bottom. So that's that. And then the other thing I got is a little Frida Kelly piece in here. And so obviously this Teresa was involved in writing Ringo's mother too, because this is a compliments letter, Frida Kelly. So this is, pretty old, early, because it's a Liverpool fan club address before they moved to London. And it says, Mrs. Starkey has asked me to send you the enclosed photo, Frida. So that's the back. Now there's a couple holes in there you can see. Teresa probably put it on a bulletin board or something. So this is kind of unusual because, I kind of follow Frida Kelly in a way, and you don't see too much in the way of her writing little sentences or little comments or whatever. You just see occasionally is her first name Frida that she writes as far as, autographs go or whatever. So that's kind of a little more unusual. Now the last part of this was something United States people would know. This is probably the first time anything about the Beatles was written, was printed in the United States. It says special Beatles issue, National Record News, Beatlemania sweeps the U.S. So people from the United States will recognize this. And then that's the back. There's no date on this, so I don't actually know the date. Maybe somebody like Mr. Beatles Pro or Frank, Mr. Sticker Mania would know exactly when this came out, because I would really like to know. So in the middle section there, it just shows you who the Beatles are and tells you about the Beatles. So that's everything I got in this little package, which I thought was pretty good. So that's it for today's video, shopping video. I hope you come and visit us over here again on the channel. And of course, as always, stay healthy and Beatles forever.